Amber.
And I'm Leah.
And today we're making Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So this is a healthier alternative than what you get in the stores. You don't want glyphosates all over your food, none of the preservatives and everything that's going in, the food dyes, anything they're using. So everything we're using here is organic. Red mill flour, Ceylon cinnamon, cane sugar. We got our water. The only thing that's not organic is butter because we haven't made it yet. So we just went ahead and cheated and worked with a stick of butter and even organic pure maple syrup. So we're gonna get started. We got things pre-measured. Most of it goes into a food processor. If you do not have a food processor, you can use a blender. Last time we did this, we actually did it by hand and we needed the dough like it was pie crust. So you can use that in a roller too if you want. And we found it a quick trick for not having to roll out your dough and get it super thin. Pasta roller. So that's what we're gonna do today. We have our recipe here. Just let me grab it really quick and we can walk y'all through it. So Leah just put in 1 1/4 cups of flour. Then she's gonna put in 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter into the food processor. Butter, honey. It's already cut into 4s. Sticky. All right. Just to let you guys know, it's supposed to be chilled. Ours got a little warm. Okay. Then we need, I got this. So then we're going in with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Sorry, y'all. I just had to wash my hands. I don't like the sticky feeling of butter.
So 1/4 teaspoon of salt into your mix. Then we're going in with 1/8 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now remember, we use, this is it.
Yeah, this is the Ceylon cinnamon.
Ceylon cinnamon.
Here's the package.
It's organic, it's pure, it's really the only cinnamon that is seriously good and non-toxic and healthy for you. So there's that little bit of advice.
Just like this.
Yep, that's it. So if you're wondering, this is my daughter-in-law and I've been teaching her how to cook. So these videos are going to be quite easy because they're new user friendly. If she can learn it, anybody can learn it, trust me.
Right.
All right, and then to our mix, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. So here's the organic maple syrup.
Right.
One more to go. And then you're going to do your 2 tablespoons of cold water, which we have already pre-measured. And she's just going to dump that in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we are going to pulse our dough until it comes together. This part should take just a few seconds. Let's stop and check it out. It's actually starting to look pretty good. Actually going to take off the lid and check and see if it'll hold together when we press it. It's perfect. Okay. So what we're going to do
I'm so glad
is we're going to transfer this to a bowl, a glass bowl. Will you grab a glass bowl, please? All right. This is is actually going to become the fun part here. So, let me just move that a little out of the way.
Do we need a big one?
Alright. Alright, so we're going to take our dough. And we are going to put it in here. We're going to start to bring our dough together. So you're basically just going to kind of start kneading it together like this.
This was so fun to make the first time we made it. I'm so glad we're making it again.
I know. I'm like super excited, to be honest with
And
you.
using the food processor made this time even easier.
I think so. It was a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
So at this point right here, we're supposed to start rolling out our dough. But me and Leah kind of learned that we liked mixing a little bit of the cinnamon sugar mixture into it and seeing the swirls.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to just go ahead and get that going through here before we start rolling it through our pasta maker.
Yeah.
Little dough roller. So, you know, I'm excited about this because this one, I've never, ever thought about using the pasta roller to actually roll out, like you could even do it with Cheez-Its, which we're going to soon. But, so we're going to take half of our dough. We're just going to make sure that that cinnamon mixture, it doesn't have to be fully incorporated, but it does have to be slightly incorporated. And we're going to start by slowly putting it through our pasta roller.
Like this.
And we're just going to slowly start pressing our dough into the pasta roller. Okay. Little technical difficulties here, but we're working our way through it. Nope, because we got non-stick pans.
Okay.
We do not need to line with parchment paper. And here's the thing with your Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You can roll it out or you can do it like this. It doesn't have to be in perfect squares. You can actually put it on here and just, you're going to bake it anyway. So it's going to bake into little pieces. And once it comes out of the oven, you can cut it then and there, or you can just break it into little pieces like this. So it doesn't have to be perfect uniform squares, but if you want to, you can go ahead and do that. You can, last time we did this, we pre-cut them. And then we later found out that the dough is soft enough that when it comes out, you can actually wait till it comes out of the oven and then immediately run your pizza cutter on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we just slide these over. We're not going to cut them probably until afterwards.
Yeah.
It just kind of makes sense to us. We're going to take and melt some butter. And once the butter is melted, we're going to brush it on the top and sprinkle some more cinnamon and sugar. Oh, and just so y'all know what it looks like. So like I said, it doesn't have to be square uniform and it looks like pie crust. It literally does. But I'm telling you, it tastes delicious.
It does. It tastes even better than
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
the store-bought Cinnamon Toast Crunch, yeah. Everything tastes better homemade though.
That's for sure. It's for sure. That's been my motto since I had babies. All right, this one's full enough, so let me just set this one aside.
Okay.
Kind of had a feeling we were going to need 2 cookie sheets today.
Yeah, I'm glad I laid out 2.
For sure. Let's get some more. Basically, that's what I'm trying to do now, is show you that there are healthier options for you. You just kind of have to do it yourself instead of count on a store to do it for you or a major consumer of products like Kellogg's, Nestle, things like that. Post cereals.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it tastes delicious. I absolutely love cereal. I don't eat it often though. And when I do, I would much rather have it taste like it did back in the 80s when I was a kid and it was delicious. So here we go. We learned that the homemade tastes just as good. And now my kids get the quality that I got from a store. Before they started adding all the glyphosates and everything else, super processed sugars and dyes, and you don't get that with this. So now we just gotta, give me the butter. First I gotta melt some butter.
That's right. There you go.
Let me get a little butter melted here. Clovis, I'm gonna have to move you, sir. Alright. So you just take about 2 tablespoons of butter. Looks like my dogs came to join the show because they heard me open something and they think they're going to get more food. So basically what you're going to do is you're just going to get a little basting brush and you're going to go over your little individual dough pieces. Like I said, if you roll it out, it's more uniform. You get an entire sheet. You just want to get it as thin as possible, because the thinner it is, the crunchier it is, and you get that crunch of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
And it tastes absolutely delish.
So, yeah, take my word for it. We made it. They had it gone in less than 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Now, these are small batches. You can always, if you have more kids or you like a lot of cereal during the week, go ahead and double or triple your batch. Not a big deal. We have little glass canisters that we store them in. And they stay nice and fresh. I haven't had a problem with it being stale after a couple of days. Of course, in this house, it doesn't last more than a couple of days. So while she's basting the butter on her pieces, basically what we're going to do is it says to sprinkle a little bit of your cinnamon sugar mixture right on here. And this is literally, the recipe calls for a tablespoon and a half of cinnamon. I use just, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon and a half cinnamon. I use just 2 teaspoons of cinnamon because last time we tried this, it just wasn't enough. So 2 teaspoons instead of a teaspoon and a half. And then it's 2 teaspoons of sugar. So it's basically equal parts. And you're just going to sprinkle it over on your little dough pieces. And then once we get that done, we're going to literally just go over and ever so lightly just kind of pat it in. And that's where you get the little dustings of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that we're all familiar with and that we all love. Literally, to me, this is just like doing a pie dough and then just sprinkling it with cinnamon, like if you were to be making an apple pie and you would do that. Alright, so I'm going to start patting mine in lightly, and Leah is going to start sprinkling her cinnamon and sugar on. Literally, you just take a finger and you're just going to go over and just lightly pat the cinnamon and sugar onto your butter mixture on the dough.
I really like how the Ceylon cinnamon feels.
And like I said, if you want to use a pizza dough cutter and roll out your dough, you're more than welcome to do that. To me, the shapes don't matter. My kids are grown. If you want it to look more like the store-bought cereal, the rollout method is probably the way you need to go. But if they just care about the flavor, then yeah, get your pasta roller out. That's what I would do. This literally took me a matter of like a minute or two versus many, many times of rolling the dough to get it flat enough to get that nice crispness that Cinnamon Toast Crunch has, that nice crunchy flavor. Hey guys,
Hi.
We're back. It's been about 20 minutes and as you can see, like I said, give me any shape you want. So I just kind of broke mine up. If you want to use a pizza cutter, you can cut it uniformly. Honestly, we did this after last time we used a pizza cutter and rolled it out, and we're able to get the square pieces, even though the directions say to use it when it comes out of the oven and you can break it up. I did, and it came up in pieces like this. Go ahead and roll it out if you're worried about the square, the uniform pieces. Do it that way. This way's fine for us. We're all grown. See how pretty? You get the cinnamon, the sugar, the toastiness. So she's gonna actually try it for you. Got little Clovis here. So she's gonna go ahead and a serving's about 1/3 of a cup, but I believe that that's like for a child because you see that's about 1/3 of a cup right there, not much. So about 1/2 a cup I say would be good for an adult, a female anyway. All of this would be good for one male. So she's gonna go ahead and try it. You're gonna be able to hear the crunch as if you were eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's healthier. It's made with, like we said, Ceylon cinnamon. You can use turbinado sugar if you want, maple syrup, butter, and red meal flour. So it's really good for, oh, and Himalayan pink salt, by the way.
This is absolutely delish.
And if you don't want to eat it with milk, perfect as a snack.
It is.
So good.
It is. It's very good. This
I
turned
love
out
this.
even better than it did the first time we made it homemade.
And it tastes better to me
It
than
does.
store-bought. This is delicious. Well, there you go, guys. Better than Cinnamon Toast Crunch. See you next video.